still out here doing this yard work. And another verse that's commonly taken out of context is the lukewarm verse. And I think that people tend to use that verse in order to assault another believer's walk. Also, if you look up on AI what that verse means, it's going to tell you that it means a person who is complacent. I'm going up this little makeshift ladder on the side of this dumpster. But it's a person that's complacent in their faith. And lacking, or what does it say, having apathy, meaning, falling away, and different things like that. Which all of those things are bad. But none of those things that they name for the answer with the AI is with the context of the scripture. And it also leaves more questions. Reason being, I feel like at that point, people are judging another man's work or another man's walk, and not extending the grace, to the person who needs it. First of all, it's Christ who is speaking these things. He said, because you are lukewarm, I will spit you out of my mouth. But yet, people use that as a way to, terrify the next person. And so, or to slander them. And so, the reason why I'm saying this is because there is a proper context that it is used. And if you read a little bit further, it says, because thou hast said, I am rich and increased with goods and in need of nothing. Those are those are people who are putting things over God. They're putting, whether it be money, whether it be whatever it is. Because richness is a mindset. And a person is going to think they're rich. Different people are going to think they're rich based on what they got. You ain't got to have the same thing, I think having, your relationship with God, number one, family that loves you, food to eat, somewhere to, lay your head, all that stuff. That's being rich. And so rich isn't necessarily in the context of accumulation. I believe it's in the context of mindset. And so, with that being said, with that verse, a person who is thinking like that is saying that they don't need God. Now, a lot of people don't willingly say that as believers, but you can say it in your heart and in your actions, by what you say and what you do. And so, that is what the context of lukewarm is, because it goes on to say after that, because. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe that at times it's used as slander. A person is either a believer or they're not. They're either strong in their walk or they're not strong in their walk. And people will say that there is no gray area. You can't be an in-between Christian. I wouldn't necessarily label certain things that, I believe context is everything. A person who is on the walk, who is accumulating knowledge, who is accumulating strength, who God is extending grace to, like, who can say, one thing or another? It says, who are we to judge another man's servant? And so, at times, by judging works, another man's work, we can get ourselves into trouble. And so, proper thing to do is, when it comes to that verse, or if you feel like somebody is, having some issues with something, you deal with it. But sin is sin. If you feel like somebody is sinning, call out the sin. But I think different people will use the word lukewarm for many different reasons. And it's out of context because the verse says, because I am increased with goods and am in need of nothing. And a person who is in that mind state, there's no way that they can be on fire for God when you think about it. And so, just something I was meditating on. Peace.